Happy video day, guys. So today I was sitting and I was actually I had just finished airing my stash haul, which is the first stash haul I've ever done. I'm so happy that you guys enjoying the concept, and yeah, if you guys like the concept so much, I'm definitely going to continue doing it because it's something that I truly love to do, and I think it's like something that we should be thinking of. And with a lot of the concepts that have been going on my channel, when I started last year with Make Up Your Mind and looking into your collection and really thinking about what you own versus what's coming out new and whether you really need to pick it up, and just kind of visualizing your collection, and then also with stash haul and thinking of, you know, trying to enjoy the products that you have by creating them and making them feel new again. All of these things were kind of going through my mind, and it started to kind of make me realize that for some time I have been changing the way I think of the beauty community and beauty in general. And I just mean like the oversaturation and everything. I've already kind of had been changing my mind about certain things since last year. And now, after everything that has happened with quarantine and COVID and all this craziness, I feel like there's going to be some huge changes in the beauty community, because I feel a lot of us were already going in a certain direction when it came to spending, when it came to all of these different things, wanting to use stuff in our collection. I feel like this was kind of like that thing that just really just made me sit down and just be like, wow, what really is going to change? And I mean, this is my ideas. I don't know if any of these things really would change. I mean, who knows? I wanted to just share with you guys 5 ideas of things that I think could change in the beauty community after quarantine, because this is something so different for us. Like, this has not happened like in a really long time. I think they said the last time something like this happened was 1918. That's a long time ago, and even that would have been my great-great-grandmother's time. So this is something very new for at least the United States. You know, I can't talk for any other countries. I don't really know. I feel like as a YouTuber, you need to kind of just know what is your viewers feeling, what is going on in the world, to kind of like really arrange your content based off of that, because it's important, you know? So these are 5 thoughts that have been going through my mind, but I would love to know your thoughts. Definitely down below, I want to know what you guys are thinking. But I wrote down 5 of them because I was just sitting here and it's like stuff that just keeps going through my head. So the first thing that I was thinking that probably is going to change now is, I feel like a lot of people have come up with this new confidence of do it yourself. You know, like, you kind of get like so used to going to the hair salon or the nail salon. I'm not saying that people aren't going to do those things, because like I need to do my roots and eventually I'm definitely going to go to the salon. But I feel like people have gotten so used to not doing certain things that there is some people that may just feel like they don't need to anymore. Like, for example, when it comes to nails getting done, I mean, if you started doing your nails and you feel like, damn, I've been saving so much money, right now is not the time for me to go back to a nail salon, you may not go back for a while until you start feeling comfortable again. And we don't know when that would be, right? So there's a lot of things when it comes to do it yourself that has had a huge impact already. Like, I feel like people have been able to rely on their own talents so much right now that it has become like it's very interesting. It has become like its own little thing. Even when I'm watching on Instagram, like people showing their recipes that they're making at home instead of going to restaurants, or people who are showing how they did their own nails, but with those acrylic things or whatever they're called, dip things. And like, I've seen a lot of people showing all these things and I'm like, wow, you can actually do that yourself. Like, that's pretty neat. And I feel like in the beauty realm, I do think everything will eventually reset, and I think like people are going to want to get their makeup done, people are going to want to get their hair done. I think all of that stuff will come back, but I think that for some time, the same way after the recession, I feel like for some time people are going to keep that do-it-yourself mentality for a while, because I'll tell you, after the recession, I used to own a boutique, and I saw the big difference in shopping habits before the recession and after the recession. Even after the recession ended, people were not spending because they got so used to saving that it was hard for them to spend because they felt like, well, why do I need that? It's like a kind of a mentality that you just automatically adapt to, and that's just, we adapt, you know? What's going on in the world, we adapt to it because we need to survive. And I feel like when it comes to spending your money on certain things, when you start to realize you can do it yourself, you may start to put a hold on it. So the other thing that I was thinking too is stores versus online. So like, I know that a lot of stores are still closed. In South Florida, we're not open. Like, some parts of Florida are open, but not South Florida. We're still completely quarantined because our numbers have not really been that great. So I don't think they're gonna be reopening South Florida for a little bit, at least for a little bit. But a lot of people have started to get used to shopping online, whether it be Instacart to get your groceries or, you know, just purchasing things online. And I know a lot of people are just itching to get back into the stores, but there's also a lot of people who are kind of seeing how interesting it is to actually order stuff online. Like, I never ordered groceries from Instacart. I had my routine. I would always go to the grocery store, and now I'm kind of like, damn, it's pretty cool, you know? So like, now I'm like interested in it. It's like interesting to me. But the same thing is with beauty and makeup. I personally have been ordering makeup online for quite some time now because of YouTube. But before that, I used to be one of those people who felt like you needed to buy beauty in the store. You had to go in, you had to look at it, you had to pick. I was not in the mentality of purchasing online. Once you start a YouTube channel, you really don't have a choice. You got to adapt to ordering online because you need to get things quick. So I feel like there's a huge chance that people will actually start to notice that maybe it's a lot more simple to order things online, and also the risk of not leaving and going into a store is a lot less, you know? So I don't know if, I feel like people's habits may change with whether they want to go into a store or not, but also I wonder how the retailers are going to take this, because to have a commercial space in retail is so expensive. So expensive. And trust me, I know. I had a boutique in a very nice area in Miami, and I used to pay a lot of money, more than I probably should have, for the amount of space that I had. So I can't even imagine like a place like Sephora, how much they are paying for their boutiques to be open. Like, I know they generate a lot of income, but also in some malls, you have to give a portion of your income to the mall. Like, it depends on where you are. Everything's kind of weird. But I'm sure they're making a lot of money, but they're also paying a lot of money for a retail store. So for most stores to be able to transition to online only is actually a huge savings for them. A lot of times I've heard, because yes, you have to have like your packing facilities and all that stuff, but because of the rent cost of an actual space, it costs a lot of money. And the reason a lot of stores don't want to do that is because they're so used to foot traffic and people coming in and people shopping, and some people don't want to order things online. But now that everybody has been forced to do it, are people's habits that they want to start ordering online going to actually cause the stores to decide that maybe it's better for them to shut some of the stores and really transition to online? Because A, it would probably be more profitable for them if people were all buying online, because they wouldn't have to pay for their stores. I don't know, it's just a food for thought that I was just thinking, like, whether our habits of changing the way that we're actually not going to stores will actually cause the stores to decide that they'd rather just be online. So the third thing that I was thinking was, one of the biggest things when you go to Sephora or Ulta, or the reasons that you'd want to go into those stores, is because of the samples, because you want to test the colors, you want to see if the colors match you, you want to, you know, play with all these samples. Like, basically that's what everybody talks about. Oh, I want to go see the samples at Sephora. I want to go swatch it at Sephora. Well, right now, I don't know if they're going to allow you to do that, right? Because, I mean, I've heard that in some stores, they're going to even check your temperature if you walk in. So would Sephora let you swatch things? I don't know. I have no idea. So I don't know, would the beauty stores actually let you swatch things? Are swatches going to be available? Are you going to be able to? It's something that we really don't know, right? So when I was thinking about it, I was like, well, that's one of their fortes, is that you can go in and actually swatch things. I want to know from you guys, would you guys feel comfortable going in a store and using their samples right now? I mean, I can just tell you personally, me, I never liked using them when there wasn't a virus going around. I never liked using them because I would just think that that was kind of ugh. Like the only thing that I would do is sometimes swatch foundation to see the colors, and I would wipe that thing off so fast because it really always kind of grossed me out. I mean, if you guys don't know, I'm a little bit of a I'm so scared of getting colds and sicknesses and all that stuff. So I kind of get like, ah, when it comes to things that I know universally people touch. So, I wonder what they're going to do about that, because that is one of their strong points. Also, one of their strong points too is when you walk into Sephora or any of these places, they always greet you and it's very like, oh, hi, can I help you? And it's very hands-on. If you guys notice, you can't walk into one of those stores and people not come up to you every 5 seconds. And I'm figuring now they're probably gonna have to wear masks for a time being. And how are they going to adjust to that? And are the customers going to just feel like, well, I'd rather just shop online? First, maybe I can't swatch, or maybe I don't want to touch those products. And second, maybe the customer service is not going to be as strong because, you know, you have to keep a distance. I don't know. I'm wondering how that's going to affect beauty in general, and especially the stores, and how people are going to just want to maybe purchase the stuff online. What do you guys think about that? I don't know. That was been going through my mind a lot. The other one is what I kind of referenced to in the first point was when people start to get used to being conservative with their money, either A, because they don't have a choice, because they don't have the income to pay for things right now, or B, because they are budgeting, because they feel like they should. It's the right thing to do right now. You don't know what the future is going to hold. It could bounce back in a second. It could bounce back in years. Like, nobody really knows. Like, we can't predict that. Nobody can predict that. So some people just start budgeting right away. And they're like, I'm just going to be on a budget because we don't know what's going to happen. So when it comes to spending your money, people naturally will start to step back, you know? So I'm wondering how people's spending habits are going to affect the beauty community in general, because you guys saw all the new releases being released back after back. You saw how much these beauty companies were launching things and everything. So you know that there was a huge demand, and that means that people were paying, people were buying. They would not be launching so much stuff if there was not customers constantly wanting to purchase. I feel like this must have been such a huge like shock for everybody, you know, including the beauty industry, because this was just not something planned, you know. Everything was just so strong, you know. So I feel like people are gonna just generally start holding on to their money, or start, you know, shopping smart, or being a little bit more conservative, or doing the things that I am starting to do, which is like stash hauls. I'm still going to buy stuff because I still want to buy stuff, and I don't feel like I'm at the point that I don't feel like you should spend your money if you have something to spend. But at the same time, like, I am going to embrace a little bit more what I own. And I've already started to notice myself, you know, like saying, I don't really need that right now. I refer back to like when I had the store, that I started to see, even after a recession, people who were starting to get jobs again, or already starting to have income to flow, they held on. Like, they didn't want to spend their money because they got so used to knowing what they needed and knowing what they didn't, and being like, well, I don't really want to buy that, or I know I can find that cheaper over here because I've been able to do the research. I've been on a budget for a while. And I'm just wondering how this is going to play out in people's spending habits, you know? And besides just spending habits, like just generally what you want and what you think you really honestly need right now. And the last one is trends. Now, this is a big one in my mind. Like, how are they going to do this? A lot of times, beauty companies, fashion industry, so many industries, they pre-plan launches years in advance. So like, it's almost like 1 year in advance, you're already kind of like thinking of fall. Right now, the beauty industry is not designing what's going to come out in the fall. They're designing like what's coming out in the spring of next year. So they're on the fall of next year right now. So everybody's like always so ahead of time. But this has been such a shocker and such a change, that it has changed so many people's lives in so many different ways, that even when it comes to what is being released in fashion, or even what's being released in the beauty industry, has changed. It's not the same. Like, nobody wants to go out right now and buy a full coverage super glam foundation. I mean, maybe some people do, but Some people right now are thinking, I want something easy. I want a tinted moisturizer. I want a, something that's not as much coverage because I'm not going out as much. I want something with SPF because I'm working a lot in my yard. So our mentalities have changed. Like our ways of life have kind of changed for some time, and we don't know really how long it's going to change for. And also in fashion, guys, like right now they would probably be releasing all of these summer bathing suits and beautiful dresses to take on vacations, and this has completely changed. So what are they going to do? What are they going to do for their fall releases? Like, their fall releases are probably planned, and some of them might not be coinciding with what's really going on in the world. Like right now, it's like everybody wants to release loungewear because everybody's thinking, I want comfy pants, I want something stretchy. Yeah, I have to go to the office, but it's different environment. It doesn't feel the same in my office anymore. People start to change the way they're dressing. Like, I just feel it all around. You feel different, you know? And I know masks are a thing, like you have to wear masks in a lot of places, and that was not something being considered when they were creating full coverage foundations or, like the next release. It was not thinking, oh, people are going to be putting masks on their face. So it's almost like a reset even for the fashion world and the beauty industry. It's a reset because a lot of the stuff that was pre-planned it's different. So I really am interested in seeing how they're going to take this on, because I know as consumers, like, we can take this on, like for us, we know what's good for ourselves. We know what we need to buy. We know if we want loungewear, fine. We know if they're releasing a full coverage foundation and we're not going out, we're not going to buy it. Like, we know what we want. But when the industry has already released, already created all these things, how are they going to adapt? How are they going to change these things? To me, I think that it's going to be an issue for them, to be honest. I think it is. And one thing that actually probably helped them is the community itself was already complaining so much about so many launches that I think a lot of the industry started to slow down on launches automatically, which was actually... we kind of helped them out there, because if they would have had 50 launches released right now, nobody would have bought in them, because why would we? We don't need them, I wanted to share with you guys those 5 thoughts that I'm having about how life is going to be after quarantine in the beauty world. I don't really know 100%. So what I want to know from you guys down below is, what are things that you guys have changed in your life that maybe you didn't do before and you're doing right now? And how has that affected the way that you've wanted to purchase beauty or even looked at the beauty world in general? So I want to know that down below. I know it was more of a talky video, but I was really thinking of these things and I really wanted to share my thoughts, because I personally know I have changed. My thoughts on certain things has already changed. And I'm second guessing a lot of stuff. I'm second guessing purchasing. I'm second guessing buying even outfits, because I'm like, well, I don't know if I'm going to be able to wear that. Like, I wanted to buy a bikini the other day and I said, I'm not going to buy a bikini. I don't know if I'm going to be able to go to the beach this summer. So there's a lot of stuff that has changed, even in my mind, So I want to know from you guys, what are a few things that you have changed after quarantine? What have you adapted, added to your life, taken out of your life? Leave me those comments down below. I'm actually really interested. And remember, guys, this is just thoughts. This is just me thinking of things that, maybe may change. And how are we going to adapt to them? How are we going to change with them? Or are they going to change with us? But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please leave me those comments down below. I really am very interested in reading what you guys think. And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.